All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, I'm glad that you are glued and you're watching a Freak 24-hour TV. Of course, this a Freak political talk show, a talk show that comes on your screens each and every day. And at this moment, we're just trying to connect with African stories as we weigh on some of the political happenings or political events within our country, trying to find out the solutions, how we can ensure that Kenya becomes a better place for all of us. So this wonderful evening, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all through to this talk show. Of course, I know people are busy, people are holiday, people are still celebrating, or people are still trying to meditate on the resurrection of Jesus Christ as you enjoy your Easter holiday. Of course, today is Sunday, tomorrow you're having Easter Monday. And as you celebrate the event of the risen Christ, I also want to welcome you to this world of politics. And today, I don't have much. We don't have much. We know a lot has happened over this weekend, despite the fact that are still in the Pasaka, we are still in the Easter celebration mood. But the question that we are asking today is that is Martha Karua on her way out of Azimio? So I was asking this question. If you followed Martha Karua today, some few hours ago, there's a tweet that she made that has really initiated this kind of question. And if I just have to paraphrase or to read the tweet, she said, she said this: NADCO was all along meant to pass as a pacifier for the restless masses, jobs for the big boys, and pushing ahead the Kenya Kwanza regime legislative agenda. She went ahead to tell Kenyans that the urgent question which all people of goodwill must reflect on moving forward is what future do we want for ourselves and how can we make it happen? So, does it mean that Martha Karua is trying to say that the president, that is William Ruto, was able to outsmart the Azimio people again, or was able to outsmart Raila Odinga and the people who followed the ideologies of Raila? Did he manage to outsmart them again after beating them in quotes in the last general election? Does Karua try to say that William Ruto is so wise that he managed again to beat these people in their own game, to buy time and to ensure that his agenda is being pushed? Because if opposition does not change their political tactics as it appears, then it means they're likely to lose the 2027 elections. Something that they should can that something that I believe they can easily win based on some of the shortfalls and the mistakes that the Kenya Kwanza have done. Anybody who is politically stable, politically right, should be able to say that Azimio can easily win 2027. But if William Ruto managed to corner them again through the NADCO report, because what is happening is that the court have stopped or halted the implementation of NADCO report, and Karua is saying that this thing, it wasn't meant to benefit Kenyans, but it was meant to pacify the restless masses and create jobs for the big boys and push ahead the Kenya Kwanza legislative agenda. That's what we're going to look at. I'm having, sorry, not Reverend, but I'm having Mheshimiwa or Honorable Vincent Machoka. And of course, he's going to help us weigh on this. So Vincent, karibu sana. Najua watu wengi sasa hivi wanaepuka mambo ya siasa na wanajishughulika na mambo ya kusherekea au kujikumbusha ile siku ya kufa na kufufuka kwake Yesu Kristo. But what we normally say that politics is part of life, and if you ignore it and leave it for other people to do it, then you'll end up suffering the effects of the aftermath of the political decisions that I've made. So karibu sana, even as you say hello to our viewers, the big question that we're asking is Martha Karua on her way out of Azimio, because she seemed to be differing with some of the steps or some of the stand that Azimio as a party or as a coalition party has taken to support the NADCO report. He seemed to be saying that, okay, this report wasn't meant to benefit Kenyans. Instead, it was meant to buy time, corner the Azimio members and ensure that the Kenya Kwanza advance their legislative agendas. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Leo. I want to greet our viewers and wish them a happy Easter, because I personally am a Catholic and we are believers that Jesus died and rose from the dead and to save us from all the sins that we commit every day. So I also didn't want to join this day and talk about politics, but I also have missed this platform for some time. For the previous few weeks, I've been busy trying to plan my life before it's too late. Na unajua lazima ujipange ama utapangwa. Uh, I hope everybody is enjoying wherever they are, and I welcome them for this brief interaction that we have tonight, so that we can also try and educate our people, even if it's on a holiday. Let me say we've been on a holy week as Christians. We can't ignore the fact that politics has been going on throughout. So to the question of the day, I want to answer with a very simple reply. What I don't know what took Mother Karua too long to exit from Azimio, because it was meant to happen the day they lost the election. And you know Mother Karua so well. Uh, she has that tendency of running away and trying to distance themselves from failure, so that they don't also be conjoined with failures. And I believe the reason why she's doing that is because she wants to uh, rebrand herself and rebuild herself again from scratch. Because in Azimio, she's among the people who brought significant, let me call it zero significance to the election of Raila Odinga. And her exiting from Azimio does not change anything, and I believe most of the people in Azimio don't even don't respect Mother Karua the way people perceive to be respecting her. Personally, I told you here before, and I told our viewers that Mother Karua committed a blunder when she decided to ignore deliberately the call from William Ruto, because if she had joined William Ruto, at least those votes that William Ruto had from the mountain could be perceived to be brought about by the mother effect. But with Raila, the mother effect was just, let me call it a hot air and wild goose chase. There's nothing she brought to Azimio. So her exiting from Azimio is just doing what she was supposed to do from the beginning, and she took too long to try and weigh if Raila will take her along. But we all know Raila also, when Raila gets something for his stomach, he normally considers his family and himself first before he can go to consider other friends who joined his fight too late. So I think that tweet you read today, I saw it, but I didn't take much keen look at what Mother Karua, because nowadays on Twitter there are few people we consider reading the views, the likes of David Indi, Mwango, Capital, and those people who teach us the economic and the economics of this country. Because I can tell you, as much as we want to say that there is politics, William Ruto has tried as much as possible to quench the fire that was so difficult for Uhuru to do. The politics is now less spoken of. The people who are trying to resurrect the politics is the likes of Kinababu Wino, and Kalonzo is just trying to be relevant. He's also irrelevant right now, and the people know so well that the people who can change this country are no longer those names we've had since 1990s. We want fresh blood, and that fresh blood is not in Mother Karua, is not in Kalonzo, is not in the likes of.
Honorable Vincent, maybe on Kalonzo. Okay, I just want to bring this into attention as you say something about Kalonzo. Today we also saw Kalonzo having a meeting with his co-principal, that is the party leader of DAP Kenya, the Democratic Alliance Party, that is Eugene Wamalo. And this is what he said. He said that, okay, let us be very clear. He said this, Earlier today, fellow Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Principal, that is DAP Kenya Party leader Eugene Wamalwa, and I questioned the timing. He questioned the timing of the High Court orders, which is stopping the implementation of the NADCO report. And he said this, let us be very clear. Should the Kenya Kwanza regime try to interfere with the IEBC, which according to Kalonzo, he thinks or he believes is the key thing in the NEDCO report, he said, then we will go back to the streets. Kenyans are tired and they will come out like the Senegalese. Former Prime Minister, retired Honorable Raila Odinga, and President William Ruto need to come out and give direction. Otherwise, we will see that they have misused us. So Kalonzo tried to say that it's like Raila Odinga and William Ruto is misusing Kenyans and shall the Kenya Kwanza maybe insist. He believed that the timing is wrong and it shows that the hand of Kenya Kwanza is in courts that is stopping the implementation of this record. So he tried to say that shall this one happen, then he will call for a mandamano and he'll tell Kenyans that Raila Odinga and William Ruto have collectively misled Kenyans. What is your take on that?
First of all, Leo,
Yes.
NADCO report was very, very unconstitutional from the word go, and we all and we Kenyans know, and I'm sure Kalonzo is just speaking that to continue showing his relevance in Kenyan politics, and he's trying to act as a defender of our democracy. Kalonzo Musyoka, in other words, a legal counsel, a legal senior counsel. Let me use a senior legal counsel and a very senior lawyer and someone who is supposed to be a constitutional defender is asking Raila Odinga and William Ruto to break the constitution and direct the judiciary on what they are supposed to do. And I believe he's been at the forefront trying to say that William Ruto is disrespecting court orders. He has no respect for the judiciary. And right now, the judiciary have just expressed themselves. Let me call it independently. We don't know if it was independent or not. Let's call it independently. And now Kalonzo Musyoka, who is a senior counsel, is trying to tell the public that William Ruto have interfered with the ruling of the NADCO report at the High Court. I believe that is that's I don't know the exact word I can use there, but I believe that Kalonzo Musyoka is not in order as a senior counsel to try and ask Raila Odinga and William Ruto to direct the judiciary to rule in favor of the NADCO report, just because he believes that the NADCO report is going to create a position of a official opposition leader, and since Raila Odinga is not there, Kalonzo Musyoka can take that office and try to make money for his campaigns. That's my opinion, but I believe the only reason why Kalonzo believes that the NADCO report is going to benefit himself is because he sees that position of official opposition leader, and there is nobody who is best suited to sit in that office. That's why he has gone to seek the hand of Wamalwa, who we've seen also is voiceless in Western, because the person who is trying to make a loud noise in Western is Natembea from his party, and I'm sure it's a project of somebody who is trying to show Amalo that you are no one, and you just carrying the flag of the party leader so that you can be relevant also politically. Somebody is
No,
sponsoring
Vincent,
Natembea to do.
maybe I proceed. You've also said something that maybe I just want to get your engagement. You've mentioned one Natambea, and in the last few weeks or in the last 1 month, we've seen Natambea declared war against one Wetangula, his party, and he like formed a certain movement that in the Western Kenya they call it Tawi movement. For those people who don't know what Tawi means, Tawi means no. In Luo they call it Dawe, Apana, Hasha. So this Tawi movement, I have heard you alluding that it might be that somebody else is sponsoring Natembea. So who do you think, whose hand do you think is behind Natembea?
Obviously, and Natembea is obviously trying to create this space, but somebody is also giving a nod to him, and these politics are display. And maybe I don't want to say that somebody specifically is doing the job, but I believe Natembea is not working as a Natembea, because we all know governors. Governors are not known to do such kind of rallies every day, but we've seen Natembea do more than 20 rallies in the past 10 days or so. No, I believe the politics that Natembe is trying to play, and Kenyans are the losers, obviously, and we know how Wetangula is influential to the Kusu community, and Natembe is trying to take out Wetangula from the scenes. But again, let me tell you that Wetangula is comfortable as speaker right now, and for the 10 years that William Ruto is going to be president, God willing, Wetangula is going to be speaker for 10 years, and Western Kenya is going to need another politician who is going to emerge and try to also act as the leader of the Western region, because they've lacked that for a long time since the death of who is that guy who was their leader? I don't remember the name. Maybe you can. Yes. Your mic is not mic.
Oh, sorry.
I cannot. Yeah,
Western were being led by, I think, after Masinde Muliro.
yeah,
The
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
leader
That's the
that
name.
managed to galvanize lawyers was the brother to Eugene Wamalwa. That was Kijana Wamalwa.
Kijana
And they
Wamalwa.
say
Yeah.
after Kijana Wamalwa, nobody has been that strong or that stable to have the Mulembe nation get united together politically, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So, Natembe is also, maybe in his script, he's trying to also parade himself as a, what Simbarat is doing in Kisii. That's the exact thing that Natembe is trying to do, trying to divide so that he can rule. And maybe that will work for him, but I know Wetangula also as a meticulous politician who knows how to play his cards, and we are in for a good show in the next few days. But I believe that the position that Natembeya is sitting on is a very delicate position, because we said here last time that devolution can either kill you politically or even destroy you politically. There is a minimal chance for you to get out of that devolved office and rise as a national leader. Because I personally anticipated that the likes of Susan Kiik are going to perform so well, so that the Kenyans will even give them a chance to be deputy president in the future. But right now, you see the blunders they are committing every day, and it's costing them their careers. So I believe Natembeya is being sponsored. I can't know specifically who is doing it. It might be even Raila Odinga or William Ruto, because they also want to solidify that Western bloc, and maybe force DAP Kenya out of Western, and maybe try to convince Natembeya to join UDA. So there is a lot of politics we are going to experience in the next few days. But Kalonzo
Mhm.
Musyoka with this guy you mentioned, Wamalwa, I feel like they don't have that name that we want as Kenyans. I have disagreed with Babuino in the past, but I don't believe that Babuino is not a fresh name. Babuino is a fresh name that appeared in the politics of Kenya in 2010, 2012, and then 2017 he won the seat of Bakasi, and now he's serving his second term. Those are the kind of people that we want to see in our politics right now, not the names that we are used to. Because right now Raila Odinga is exiting the political scene, Ruto is exiting the political scene. We've seen what happened in Kipsigis. They were crowning their kingpin the other day, and right now you see now the other communities trying to do the same, so that they can start preparing for the future. We've seen Babuino trying to create a movement so that they can be seen as the people who are leading the opposition and defending the human rights, and the Kenyans who are voiceless. So the all things that we are seeing right now, even Kalonzo is trying to also act like someone who is the opposition. Kalonzo is not opposition. Kalonzo is acting as
Mhm.
opposition. He's trying to act as, like, unajua vile wanasemanga, when your grandfather passes, is the senior most son is the one who acts on behalf of the grandfather. But not all the brothers and sisters will respect him the way they respected their father. That's the same thing that is happening to Kalonzo. Kalonzo is trying to fit the shoes of Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga himself is seeing that there is nobody who is fit to take the mantle. And that's why I'm worried for the opposition of Kenya, because it is going to be seen as Raila. Without Raila, we can never have another leader who will defend the Kenyans. That's the same thing I've seen Kalonzo trying to match himself with what Senegalese did. I want to remind Kalonzo that last year, when the people are going out for Mandamano, the main objective of the maandamano was the cost of living, and we know the song was unga, and unga right now you've seen in some shelves that unga has gone really really down, and I
To
saw
how much?
today,
I bought
today I
unga
saw,
today at 145.
yeah, that's
That
what
was
I'm
the
saying.
least.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain to you, that it's not as it was last year. But today I was at Daraja Market, and I saw some old mothers so selling their maize for as low as 80 bob per 2 kg tin. That means that those people in the village who are trying to buy unga and maize are not buying it as expensive as it was last year. And I'm not saying that the price is okay, but I believe for those people who are feeling the heat last year, right now there is a little heat more than it was last year. So those things that pushed people to go out from Andamano right now are less spoken of. The people are busy trying to also get jobs for their children. They are trying, because the only thing that I could ask Alonso to go out to protest is the unemployment, because I feel unemployment is a ticking time bomb that is waiting to erupt very soon. If Kalonzo can start a narrative of unemployment and stop talking about these things of Nadiko, stop talking about these nonsense of the courts and William Ruto and IBC, and I will repeat here today that the referee cannot be the one who determines who wins the election. And Kalonzo is a senior counsel and someone who's been vice president and tried to be deputy president twice. He must not behave as if the politics of this country is circled around IBC and the referee. The IBC cannot be the one who determines the election. Let Kalonzo Musyoka work hard to make sure that he has the support of the people. Let him work hard to make sure that the court orders are respected. He must not work hard to tell the president and Raila Odinga to influence the decision of the judiciary. And that's not why we voted for the 2010 Kenya constitution.
I get you. I, I, I
Yeah,
I
sir.
really I really get you. But the question that one would ask, based on Karwa's tweet, does it mean that Karwa was left out in the NADCO deal, that she didn't have something that is going to benefit her? Because the way she's talking, it's like the NADCO was a pacifier. It was to waste time, buy time, ensure that the Kenya Kwanza legislative agenda is advanced, and also provide job for the big boys. And we are not visitors in this country. When you talk of the big boys, you already saw some of the list of the ambassadors and whatever. And one of Raila's kin, or one of Raila's sister, has also been given some plum job by this government. Does it mean that Karua feels that, okay, people met and some people have been given something now because she wasn't given something, so she's protesting that?
Mother Karua, I pity Mother Karua a lot, because she seems to not understand the politics of this country. And I believe most of the Kenyans have understood Raila more than these politicians have. The Kenyans were okay when they heard that Raila is going to sit with Ruto. They were happy. They were settled. Most of them were so happy. They were relaxed. I personally felt that now we are going to have a peaceful country, so that we can also improve on the investors' confidence to come and invest in the country. So Mata Karua has himself to lose, and he has everything to lose when he leaves Raila Odinga, because the voice of mother almost came up when she supported Raila Odinga. We felt like if mother continues this way, maybe in the future people can consider her and maybe elect her as member of parliament once more. Because why on earth would Mother Karua try to leave at ODM or leave as Azimio? Because Azimio gave her the voice that she has. You know, I can say that 2013 William Ruto was the kingmaker. In 2017 he was the kingmaker. But in 2022, William Ruto was the king, and Mother Karua was just to be made a queen. Like, she was supposed to be made a queen. She just wasted the opportunity she had. She will never get such kind of an opportunity, because right now the opportunity went, and William Ruto will never want to beg anyone right now. The people are busy begging Ruto for those slots, and William Ruto does not care right now who becomes what, or who. He's focused on his 10-year tenure, And those who want to fight for the future, they can do it on their own way. He will try to mentor those he can. But Mother Karua committed that thing that I usually call political suicide by trying to show Raila Odinga the middle finger, because Raila Odinga is one person who also respects loyal people. And if you're not loyal to Raila Odinga will crush you at all corners, and he'll make sure he betrays you on broad daylight. That's what he did to all those people who pretended to be unloyal to him. You saw what happened to Ruto in 2010 when they decided to walk out on Raila Odinga forced them out of the ministry positions, and even announced that he is suspending them from the positions of prime minister, and Kibaki restored them, reinstated them later. But that was a statement that when you disrespect Raila Odinga will try to kick you. So I think Mother Karua is trying to point up a middle finger to Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga rarely listens to such kind of people because he knows that in Azimio, Mother Karua is less influential. Raila Odinga and Mother Karua cannot walk out with zero members of parliament. The way Ruto was powerful because Ruto was tactical. When he was walking out on Raila, he knew I'm walking out with around 30 members of parliament, and this will create an imbalance in parliament, so that when it comes to voting on bills that favor Raila Odinga, the people who support Ruto will not vote with Raila. They will vote with Kibaki. So that's what Mother Karua lacks. That's why I tell you, Raila Odinga is not the loser here. The loser is Mother Karua. And this NADCO report that we are talking about right now was meant to fail, and we know the reason why the NADCO report was fronted. And I can tell you one simple reason: Raila Odinga already accepted that he lost the election, but he didn't want his fans to feel like I am just giving up on you. He tried to also these are these kind of games that we don't see as people. We have to use those inner political eyes to read the mind of Raila Odinga and Ruto. These are two genius politicians we have in this country. And for you to understand what these people do, you have to give everything time so that you can try to internalize what happened and what is going to happen. So right now, the NADCO report that was supposed to be a reason why the Maandamano could end is now what Kalonzo is trying to use to take us back to the streets, and it will backfire on him because Raila Odinga has already moved on, and we know that Raila Odinga has already accepted the fate that I lost the election, and maybe the people who are trying to say that the election was stolen or what, Raila Odinga already accepted the fact that I lost, whether it was stolen or not, I lost, and right now if I don't focus on what I'm being told to do, and this position of AUC. We've talked about AUC chairperson for long, and people now understand the weight of that seat right now. And that seat is going to get a seat in the UN Security Council meeting, and we need a Kenyan there because for us to be powerful, so we also need to position someone at the UN. So if Raila is going to sit in the UN Security Council meeting, it means that we, the people of Kenya, are going to also have that goodwill, because as much as he's going to negotiate on behalf of Africa, he's also going to have that soft spot of his own country. Whenever he hears something that can come to Africa, the first thing he will try to mention behind the camera is that, why can't you do that to Kenya? That's why we need that seat so urgently. You also saw the other day that Uhuru Kenyatta was supposed to meet with the president. I don't know if they met or not, but I'm sure if they were to meet, we could not even have heard of it. But if they have met, there is a possibility that there is something William Ruto is planning for that man also. So let Alonso and Martha Karua accept the fact that Ruto has automated them, and if they keep being disorganized the way they are right now. And I can tell you, by the way, there is one thing that I heard from a very close ally of Paul Simbarati, that Paul Simbarati is a very, very good friend of the president. As much as he is the chair of the vice chair of ODM, Simbarati has never had a problem with William Ruto, and William Ruto always loves those people who have numbers on the ground, and he will do everything possible to try and win their heart, and that's what he's going to do. You see. So anyway, let me conclude by saying that if Mother Karua keep on doing the blunders they are doing, and they keep on repeating and redoing the same things the same way all the time. They are their own to lose, and they are going to lose again in 2027 if they keep on being disorganized. And I will tell you here, Leo, today that we will come back here to revisit some other day that Mother Karua is less influential. Kalonzo is, I'm sure Kalonzo cannot even mobilize his members of parliament to walk out on Raila Odinga right now. They cannot do that
Are
because
you really sure? I think you people, why do you people have to underrate Kalonzo
no, we don't,
this much?
we don't because
Remember,
of
Kalonzo
the way
managed to mobilize the voters from his region and his Wiper party to vote Raila to the last man.
No, you know why I believe that Kalonzo
Yes.
has not much influence is because these members of parliament also have something we call the stomach. And if you want to act and try to force people to walk out on someone that is very, very influential to the voters more than what you are, I can tell you, by the
Yes.
way, in 2022, even if I think Raila Odinga calculated and knew that these campers are going to vote for me anyway, so the only vote that I need to top up is the Mount Kenya votes, and I need someone to be there so that I can get the Mount Kenya wheel. So right now, Kalonzo Musyoka should even make that attempt and threaten Raila. The same way I told you the other day that we need someone to come out and say that I am opposing Raila and I want to take over from Raila. And we've seen Babuino doing that. Although today he again reversed the statement and says that as much as we've created this movement with Wamshomba, I still respect Raila, and I am a staunch supporter of Raila Odinga, because you can't do that kind of blunder and believe. People always want to see people who take risks. If I were Babuino, I could not have said that. I could have avoided that question purposely so that
Mhm.
I can hear what people will say. You see, you're not doing it because you of your good. You want to see, test waters and see what will people say. If I were Kalonzo today, I would not have threatened to go to the streets. I could have threatened Raila that I am going to walk out with my member of parliament from Azimio, and we are going to chart our own path. That's the only way we are going to see now a Kalonzo that is serious. I'm not saying that he is not serious, but me and you, Leo, understand
Yeah.
how Raila Odinga works. And Raila Odinga, you can only threaten him when you do something that he feels like, if I lose this one, I am going to lose everything. But if you are going to threaten him that you are going to ask people to go out to the streets, Raila Odinga is the best man to do that job, and he can do it any day, anytime he wants. If he says that on Monday we are going out to the streets, we can go out and riot so well. So Kalonzo Musyoka should stop threatening people that I'm going to Andamana because Ruto is trying to interfere with IBC. Right now, Kalonzo should focus on making sure he's the opposition leader, because the people does not even respect him. And I'm sure Sifuna can best work with Babuino than Kalonzo. Let him first try and win the opposition name. Let people know him as the opposition leader, not as a person who laments that Raila Odinga is working with Ruto, because we all know that that will happen anyway. So anyway, Leo, I don't want to say that Kalonzo is a coward, but I believe like he is not
I can.
convinced me.
Geoffrey
He's not
Ruto is
convinced
saying
me.
that Kalonzo has started crying and the game has not yet begun. While Goodyear is telling us that Kalonzo has no presence but is trying to move from his backyard. He is a soft guy. I think people mistake Kalonzo because maybe Kenyans are used to aggressive politicians, so they try, like they want Kalonzo to be what they expect, but they don't want to take Kalonzo of whom he is. People have got different personalities, people have got different ways. So you believing that a politician should be so aggressive, like the likes of Raila Odinga, William Ruto, and maybe Babu, and people like Indindi Nyoro, is it not asking too much for Kalonzo to change his personality and become aggressive,
No,
really?
we don't want a leader who will be bullied by other leaders. We've seen what the kind of madarau that Samia Suluhu is doing to Kenya, even allowing people to hunt elephants. That is like
Yeah, yeah.
hurting Kenya
Currently, Tanzania have allowed
specifically.
the hunting of elephants. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if you are a walkover, people will bully you, and I'm sure you will hear a statement from William Ruto very soon. And that statement is not going to be something we will hear, but you will see Suluhu go back on her word, because she's doing that to also favor her campaigns. Elections are coming in the next 1.5 months, and he has to do something so that the people can see that he's serious. She's seriously running for that position. If we elect someone who is a pushover and someone who will just agree, your Migingo will go, man. Migingo yenu itapelekwa huko Uganda, and you will have nobody to blame. But right now, the goodwill between the president and Raila Odinga will see us put an end to the fight that we've seen in the Lake of Victoria for years, because right now these fights keep on bringing a lot of problems. We've seen what is happening in the northern part of Kenya and the border between Kenya and Somalia. And if you are just a pushover, these people will bully you, and we need someone who will stand against such kind of bullying. And we are known since independence to have leaders who are firm and who defend Kenya no matter what. We can say we have useless leaders. I was a supporter of Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta was somebody I disagreed with policies, but when it comes to defending this country, he did that passionately. And whenever he was out there, he was marketing Kenya so well. We know what Moi did to our army, and we have the most professional army in Kenya because of Moi's kind of style of leadership. You know what happened when the coup happened? That's when Moi decided to make military an independent and a professional institution. So Leo, Kalonzo must prove to us that he can be that person. We cannot bully, and Kenyans cannot just insult atoroke Twitter ama atoroke Facebook the way Uhuru did. We want someone who will face the insult head on, the way Ruto is doing right now. And I like the way Babu is trying to do. Babu, does not care what the people in ODM say. He does not care what these small rats in ODM say. I know there are rats in ODM who are trying to fight him right now, but he is trying to stand against them no matter what. So if Kalonzo cannot even mobilize, by the way, he was in Kisii. Let me just say that for maybe last word. Kalonzo was in Kisii, and I can tell you the members of parliament who accompanied Kalonzo. Kalonzo came from Ukambani. Those are the people who are with him here came from Ukambani.
But no, that is how you start. You need to start with the people from your backyard.
No, but
Then
at least
these are the people,
they
the
are
ones
they are
who are going to attract the foreigners. Like when
no.
you're working, you need to have your own jeshi. Then jeshi
If you are
nyingine, after seeing your
no,
own jeshi, they'll
let
see
me ask
seriousness
you.
and join you. Yes.
Let me ask you. You cannot bring a Wambua from Kitui to come
Mhm.
to my constituency, for example, my constituency, or some an ODM elected constituency. Even the women rep who is elected in Waipa with Waipa in Kisii was not present in the event that was held for 2 days. The women rep was not there, and even the MCAs were there because of the governor of Kisii, because the governor of Kisii also must had to accompany, because I'm sure Kalonzo could not have pulled some masses in some places without the help of Simba Arati. Simba Arati
Yeah.
has a lot of people following him, so he needed such kind of perception. If he had at least two members of parliament to take him to their constituencies, and the women rep to try and create that perspective that the people in Kisii also are in support of him. And I'm sure it's Simbarati who convinced him to come here so that he can also, Simbarati loves publicity, and whenever he's in public, he usually speaks a lot. So this was maybe planned by Simbarati, and Kalonzo was just someone who was, let me say, a guest of honor. You know, it's my event, but the guest of honor is this guy, and we have to give him time to speak to you, Muskia anasema nini. So I believe Kalonzo has not proved to be that person that we, the people of Kenya, will be proudly saying that we have a candidate who will. The reason why the people like this guy who was elected in Senegal is because they have been tortured, they have been taken to prison, and they overcame, but they have fought so hard and defended. They have fought so hard and defended the people. But I don't believe Kalonzo has fought for anyone. Me, I don't know. But if he's fought, maybe Orengo can tell us. He's the one who knows this history well. But I believe Kalonzo cannot claim that he's fought for anything. The position of vice president was given to him in 2007 because I don't know the convenience, but Kibaki didn't want someone who is too noisy and someone who is a politician around him. Kalonzo has not been a politician all through. There are those people who are good when they work in their offices. Those people tunaitanga watu wa white collar jobs. Kalonzo is those people of white collar jobs. Kalonzo could be a very good speaker or a minister, but as president, I disagree. We need someone who mwenye kuna vipindi kidogo. Hizi vipindi zinasaidia sana. Sometimes go out there and make people laugh, but Kalonzo can get too serious, and I don't know, we can get that tutanyamaza Africa, tutasikika vile tunasikika saa hii, and we usually want to be heard as Africans.
So you're saying Kalonzo's presidency, you're not seeing anything like Kalonzo's presidency, because people will argue that the mistakes that have been done by the Kenya Kwanza, it will really be easy for any serious opposition to ensure that Ruto becomes a one-term president. So why do you have to believe that, you see, we are not going to have Kalonzo's moment?
Do you believe that Kenyans listens to the mistakes? Like ukuje Kisii uanze kuambia wa Kenya ati William Ruto ndiye alipandisha bei ya mafuta, mnichague mimi nitapunguza. People are past that kind of politics, and kwa Kenya wasi wajinga anymore.
That is what defined the 2022 election.
No,
So do you think things are going to change?
William Ruto had one agenda, and William Ruto tried to prove that the Kenyans wale wadogo wameachwa sana kwa serikali and wameachwa nje for long, and the people felt like this guy is one of us and he's trying to be, and he made sure that everything he did was to show that the common mwananchi or the Wanjiku or the Mora or the Wanyango or the Anyango is in the government, and he tried to stick to the agenda until the last minute. And right now we can see, even if people will disagree with me, that the most of the policies have not been in favor of the Wanjiku. I believe from my heart, like, there are things you can do, but there is less you can do to prove that you've done. So I think the majority of the things he's done are for the greater benefit of those people that are less spoken of, and that's why you hear a lot of noises from those big boys who are used to eating big. William Ruto has left them hanging. That's why you've seen the reason why I can tell you, like, mimi nikionanga tweet ya Wanjigi, the first thing I say is, you are a beneficiary of graft. We can't trust you as Kenyans, because I don't believe Wanjigi will be the answer to the problems that we have, and that's the reason why I say we need fresh blood right now, and a blood that will now come with a narrative, because William Ruto already sold us the narrative of Wanjiku, and he sold us a lot of sisi watu wadogo, and I don't believe, like, right now Babu Wino with that narrative of the voiceless will sell so well. It won't. Right now it won't sell, because William Ruto still sells the same narrative, and he will use the same narrative in 2027. So Leo, to be generous and to be fair to these people, let me tell you, like, if I want to run for president in 2042, and I'm really working hard to do that. And when I get to 2042, I will not want to also do the mistakes that I'm seeing these leaders do. If I want to disagree with you, I will disagree and move out. I won't. That's why sometimes I believe Mother Karua does the right thing. If you are disagreeing with someone, don't be associated with him, so that you can be seen as a good person, so that upate ile wanasemanga the goodwill, or akupake mafuta ama akupea mkono. Let people go out and try it on their own. The same way I've seen this guy from Kipsigis, Ngeno did something that I'm sure even the president is proud. Of course, not everyone is going to approve that he is the kingpin, but the moment the president is silent on that, the people believe that the president has nodded on that. If I were Babu Wino, hata mimi ningepanga kipindi moja kama hiyo. Napanga kipindi. I look for money, nipange kipindi. The people endorse me as the kingpin and the future kingpin, so that also Raila Odinga can see. If Raila Odinga does not comment, the people will think like maybe Raila has given a nod on that. No. So that's how you do. That's what I do personally as Vincent. If I want to run for president, I will not wait for someone to tell me, Vinny, now this is your time. I will try to create that time for myself, because I know in the future we are going to see a contest of young people. Even the ballot can have even 10 people running for the position of president. The people who are 35 and 45 years, we're going to see a lot of people in that space. Simbarati is one of them who wants to run for president, although I know that will make Kenya worse than it has been for, even Kenyatta was worse, but Simbarati will make it more worse. So I believe if I were to run for president one day, I will not want to commit such kind of blunders that I've talked about since we started this podcast, because I believe we are growing to learn from the past experience, and the people like Mother Karua are not learning from the part of past experience. They are part of the experience. That's why they are not learning, and that's why we need to kick them out, and we bring fresh blood, fresh reasoning, fresh people. Today I was having also maybe for a minute I was having a conversation with my friends about Silas Jakakimba's exit from ODM, and I tried to tell them. They were arguing that when you want to face when you get out of ODM in Luanyanza, or you commit a political blunder and maybe suicide. I told them anyway. He felt like I am not getting anything anyway. So if I'm not getting anything anyway, let me also go out there and get anything anyway. So I believe the thing like Jakakimba did, that person, he was a close ally of Raila Odinga. I don't know much about him, but I believe I have heard his name for a longest time.
Okay, let me tell you something about maybe Jaka Kimba, having known him. Jaka Kimba, when he was in the university, I think that is when he first met Raila, and being the first, I think, person in that school, the school that he studied it in, the Kakimba, he was among the
Primary.
first people to go to a university from that high school. So he got some assistance from Raila as far as the fees being paid. Then, when he now joined this thing called the ODM, Jakakimba was a personal assistant to Raila. He worked in the office when Raila became the prime minister. He was an employee in the office of the prime minister. He was Raila's personal assistant, and apart
Aid.
from being Raila's personal assistant, he was also appointed as an advisor. So whenever you saw Raila going for all these foreign trips, he would have Silas Jakakimba. If not Silas Jakakimba, he would have one Moses Kajwang and this professor, the Kamba professor, Professor who? Just remind me of the name.
Kibwana.
Yeah,
Kibwana.
no, not Kibwana, not Kibwana. There's this young
Hmm.
man whom Megona one time called
Oh,
Todd. He's a lawyer, actually. He's a
I know,
professor.
I know,
So,
I know his name. It's
yeah,
also lost.
I'll get
Eh.
the name. This flamboyant lawyer. So Jaka Kimba's bitterness came
Oh,
that
Mutua. Makau Mutua.
yeah, Macau Mtua. So his bitterness came when in I think the 2017 was it 2017, yeah, elections. After that, he was promised that he was going to be sent to IALA, the East African Legislative Assembly, and he was replaced with Oburu Oginga, of which he did confess that they after that they had an handshake with Oburu, and accepted that because Oburu was older than him, he still had some opportunities, and remained to be Raila's advisor. So I don't know what happened in the 2022 that now made him to decide that now he have to exit. He wanted to contest. Apart from that, he wanted to contest. I think sometime when Senator Kajwang died, he wanted to he presented himself, but he was talked to and was told that okay, let us leave this thing to Kajwang's brother. So those are some of the things that made him bitter. So he felt that okay, he's been denied an opportunity maybe to do such kind of things. Though what we know that we also have to agree with and have to tell our viewers is that politics is about his interest. And when you talk of interest, the personal interest comes first. So the moment you find that your interest is not coming first, then that is when you can call it off. And most of these politicians that we see, however much they might try to say that they're fighting for us normally comes as a second option. The first option is that they normally have to fight for themselves. That is why even when you see things like NADCO, you'll find that after William Ruto have had some agreement or some handshake with Raila, Raila's family will always come first before any other thing. The sister will be nominated or given some job before they talk of you. So we need to know that as much as we keep on dying for these people, their interest will always come first. And once their interest and the interest of their opponents are similar, then that is how they abandon us and serve their interests. So there's nothing like a politician telling you that, oh, Vincent, I'm going to fight for you. Even you today, if you get an opportunity to be elected as an MP or as an MCA, First of all, you can't lie to me that you're going to help my kids or my children get some job before you are. So
Yeah,
the
sure.
first thing is that you have to recommend your kids, which is not wrong. You are a
Yeah,
parent, and if you're having children, these children expect you to build their future. So if you are a parent, a reasonable parent will ensure that they secure the future of their children or give something to their children before they give it to the neighbors. So when you see a politician recommending their brothers or recommending their sons and daughters for specific job, it is not wrong. It shows that they are responsible parents. So they have to start with that. So it is upon us to understand that they have to serve their interest, then our interest second.
yeah. I said that, and the people were insulting me because I told them if I were Kakimba, I could have done the same. Because sometimes you also need to also make such kind of bold moves for you to also be seen as a serious person. He
Yeah.
could not have been PA forever, and God forbid if Raila Odinga died when he was PA, and maybe the political career of Raila Odinga would have died with him, and we could have only just mourned, and we forget about Kakimba and Raila Odinga. But Jakakimba tried to do something that I believe is something that most leaders are going to try and do in the future, because sometimes you have to differ with your leader so that you can also chart your own path as an individual. I told people to look me in the eye and tell me if Raila Odinga could have told Millie Odhiambo to step down for Jakakimba in 2027. And I told them, if you can convince me that Raila Odinga could have done that, then I will fault Jakakimba for doing that. But I believe Jakakimba knows that he might lose in 2027, but that's not the beginning of his problems. He has seen Raila Odinga lose 3 times, and this is not something that is new to him. So he'll try to understand. When he loses, he'll now understand what does my people uh, vote for, or what does my people want, so that they can vote for me. Because he's been Raila Odinga's aide, he can sell that narrative to the people, but the people will vote for the party, maybe. You see, so
Mhm.
he will
Yeah.
now understand that if these people did not vote for me because I was Raila Odinga's person, they voted for Millie Odhiambo just because she is loyal to the party. So it means that even if you can be loyal to the individual, the people will not care about that. I only need to have that political vehicle that has the goodwill of the party leader or the individual party leader, so that I can win. That's how you learn in politics. But I believe if he loses, and Ruto will not abandon his people, he will get a position so that he can position himself in 2032. Maybe Millie Odhiambo will want to go for a higher position, maybe in 2032. He cannot be MP forever. This is maybe his fifth term right now. I don't know if this is the fifth term or fourth term. I don't know. She cannot want to also cling to the position of member of parliament. Maybe after Gladys Wanga's exit from the gubernatorial position, she will want to run for that position so that she can also make that name for herself. And that's the time now Kakimba will grab that seat. But you also have to make that first bold step. He has to run in 2027. He becomes position number 2, so that it brings him near to that top seat, and that's how he's going to win this election. But most of the Kenyans believe that this politics is run by a few individuals, and maybe Raila Odinga has given an approval that I want you to try and do that, because I'm sure he's worked with Raila and he knows Raila well, more than most of these people that pretend to be knowing Raila well. And maybe right now he knows what Raila Odinga is doing, and he knows whatever he's doing, he's approving the moves that Silas is making. And there are people who are saying that William Ruto does not need Silas. And I told them, right now, William Ruto needs everybody who wants to come his way, because he has nothing to lose also. So he needs these people to also create that perspective that as president, I also have these people supporting me, and the Luo Nyanza is agreeing to my support. There are people in the Luo Nyanza who finds these news very entertaining, to see that the people are defecting to Ruto. It means these people are loving what Ruto is doing, and you change some 3 people's minds, and these 3 people's minds will change other people's minds, you see. So I believe the people have not learned the politics of this country. That's why people believe that without a few people's support, you won't be anything in this country. And that's why I'm going to outsmart these people when it comes to the elections in the future, because they still think the same way Mata Karua thinks. You see, if you can't think independently and try to read this politics from your own own thinking, and stop imagining that Raila Odinga has held people captive. Try to also do this thing on your own. Try to test these waters so that you see. Unajua Raila Odinga pia si mjinga. Akiona mtu smart, he will support him. Atasema Millie, you've been here for years. Allow this guy do this. William Ruto will give you minister. Maybe you'll be given something. This is how Raila manages his politicians. That's why the people have managed to be so loyal to him for years. That's why ODM has been there for these 15 years. And Raila Odinga knows that if he exits the political scene, ODM is going to die with him if he does not plan for it. And that's how he plans for the party. He doesn't want people to fight in ODM. He just wants people, those who are not satisfied, just look for another vehicle. But I won't want to punish you for looking for another vehicle. But the people in Kenya think that Raila Odinga hates those people who defect from his party. No, he doesn't. He knows that if himself, he changed parties 3 times before he settled with ODM. He knows that's how you start your political journey. And if you can't try and make such kind of mistakes, you're going to make more mistakes in the future. And you're not going to get elected. People will come from nowhere and win the election. No, so I believe let people leave Silas alone. Let people try and focus on their own fights. Because personally, I believe if I were Silas, ningetembea na hiyo UDA huo Nyanza proudly. And when someone tries to stone me, I'll face them head on. And I will not want to run with my convoy. I want them to stone me so that I can find another a sympathetic way of telling them. So even if I support your leader for 15 years, and I differ with him once, you will hate me for that. There are people who will feel, who will listen to you and say, "Nye hapa tujamfanyia justice." No. So I think we are done with the topic of the day, and I don't want to also keep you here for long. Nafaa kukula ng'ombe yangu nimepika hapa.
Yeah,
So
I just have to appreciate. I know today was that busy day, and even getting somebody to make some political comments wasn't easy. So for your 1 hour, I really have to appreciate. I know people are still in the celebratory mood as we are celebrating the risen Christ. We are this is one of the basic foundations in Christianity, and what keeps Christianity together is the fact that Jesus resurrected and prove that he defeated death. I think that is what nothing gives people hope in Christian religion rather than having a belief that Christ died and resurrected, defeated death, and giving hope beyond the grave or beyond being buried. So I'll just have to thank you, allow you to have some fine moments as you celebrate the holiday, and also wish several millions and billions of Christians all over the world a happy Easter. I know sometime next week we are also going to see people celebrating the Eid. Yeah, the Muslim brothers are going to celebrate Eid al-Fitr and all those kind of things. So that's just something to tell you that all these religions that we profess, they are similar. We are just having different words, something like that, but we still worship one supreme being in different ways, in different languages, and in different maybe terms and different rituals and such kind of things. So thank you so much, Honorable Vincent. I think that was a great contribution. And indeed, the viewers, we now understand that the politicians are serving their interest. And some of you might also, you are not wrong when you say that Karua have realized that her interest is not served in Azimio. And that is why she's now strongly opposing the NADCO report. Maybe the NADCO report did not address something that she was interested in. You've also seen Kalonzo that maybe is also serving his personal interest after realizing that Raila might be going to AU and there's a vacuum that is going to be left. So he now wants to show the members and the believers in Raila's ideologies that he can also play the same or similar kind of politics to Raila so that people can have some trust in him and give him the mantle. You've said that Kalonzo have been playing some soft politics. So the person he wants to replace or the person he wants to inherit is somebody who's been playing some ruthless or some aggressive kind of politics. So he needed to prepare himself and be aggressive so that he can be able to inherit the followers of Raila. Just like in football, if you are used to somebody, Messi, and Messi is not there, you need somebody who plays a similar kind of football to Messi, or else
Sure.
you'll feel that this person is not weaker. So I just your final comment, maybe as we wind it up. It has been really a great hour of discussing
Thank
Kenyan
you.
politics.
Thank you, Leo. I think as from tomorrow, we are going to have a series of these kind of engagements, and I'm back right now, and I know
Exactly.
I will try and create this one strong hour every day or 2 hours, so that we can try and keep doing this. And I told our viewers, and then today I want to send my greetings to Goodia. He usually mentions me every day, Jeffrey
Yeah.
Ruto, and I want to say hi to them, and maybe they will give me their number so that we'll be talking also behind the scenes sometimes when we talking. So I believe that going forward, I'm going to get this enough time, because I'm also trying to settle and do some things. But going forward, we're going to be here, and I will keep on telling people that I also have this dream of running for office one day. But these kind of platforms that we have here in Africa 24 are the platforms that prepares you for that kind of battle. If you can't come here out here and try to speak out and try to give your opinion, disagree with people, get these kind of insults that we sometimes face here, let people be rough on you, try to defend yourself, test your temper, test your knowledge in politics, so that when you get to the ground and you get to the politics itself, you be prepared mentally for that. And that's why I'm telling you that in the future we're going to have such kind of politicians like me and you, Leo, and other people that the Kenyan revolutionary, those people who want to speak their mind with, regardless of what other people say. You stand with your word no matter what. And I want to thank Africa 24 for giving me such kind of a platform. I thank our followers for being with us all the time. Those people who watch the video, those people who take time to go through the whole video, even when we are done with the live. I
Yeah.
want to thank them a lot, and I welcome them. And let's make this a very, very vocal platform for all of you. Join us every day, even if you get 5 minutes every day, just click on the link, join, let's debate, let's sharpen our skill, let's listen to your opinion. Because personally, since I joined here, I've learned a lot of debating skills, I've learned a lot of ideas. Sometimes you see me writing something down,
Yeah.
that it means I've had a very good point from you or from other panelists, and I've written it down, so that when I get a chance to debate somewhere else, I can use that point to also put across some idea. I thank you, Leo, for taking your time to be my host and to be our host every day. And we won't stop praying for you, so that you also grow. I want to see you
Thank you.
be a very senior host in a very senior platform, other than Africa 24. Thank you, and have a good night. And those people who are celebrating Easter,
Thank
I
you.
wish you
Thank
well.
you.
Tomorrow ni holiday, watu wasikunywe sana, watu wasikunywe wakiendesha, watu wakae indoors. Be with your children. Right now the people are at home for holidays. Be with your children, be their parents, and enjoy your holidays. Thank you, Leo, for this kind of engagement, and I hope that tomorrow we'll be here again to do the same.
Thank you so much. And maybe Goodyear is reminding me that Liverpool is top of the table. I do appreciate that, but they are only 2 points ahead. What he needs to appreciate that Arsenal has managed. Actually, that is a team that has managed to stop Man City, and the only team that has ensured that Man City does not score a goal. I think this year that is the only city, the only team that has stopped Manchester City from scoring goals. He watched the game,
But
and
also,
Man City were
but
lucky to have
also,
escaped with the
Leo,
draw.
don't
So,
forget that Chelsea also managed to be the only team that scored 4 goals against Man City.
no, we are not talking of scoring. What we are saying
No,
is
that's also an achievement. If you can
preventing
stop them, we
Man
can
City
also
from
score them.
scoring the goal. You scored, but they also scored.
Yeah,
So
you
now
see,
when you're
that's
speaking, I think I should be talking to the likes of Goodyear who supports Liverpool, because out of the teams that played today, that is Man City and Arsenal. One of them is going to be a champion in the next 8 or 7 games that are remaining. So the rest of the teams are going to receive the certificates of participants, so we don't need to engage them that more. So otherwise, you guys, I
Allow me,
wish.
allow me
Yes.
say reply to something I've read from Goodyear.
Okay.
Goodyear
Okay.
has
Okay.
told me something so nice here, and I want to also appreciate him, because I also know that into the government that is being formed will be formed in 2032. I will be a minister in that government, and I believe I will be a minister in that government, and that's why I'm also trying to play my cards smart, so that I be in the winning side. I want to be influential in the side that wins the election. And I thank you for that, and I amend to all you just said, and I hope we also become a very senior person in the office that I hold. Maybe you can be running my errands if I get a chance to be senior than you, and if you get a chance to be a senior with me, you can be a brother, and someone who will help me with ideas. I thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That was it, and that was a great show. I really appreciate you, and let us meet next time, same place, same time on our talk shows that comes on your screen every day. So we are resuming our political talks tomorrow. Have a good night, and the ones who are waking up now, just have a good day. Thank you so much.